Godfather of urban music.
Describe grime to a 5-year-old. If you don't get screwed over, you're not going to learn.
How many songs have you recorded?
Thousands. I got stabbed multiple times, but some people get stabbed once and die, right? Inside Buckingham Palace.
You just look around my house comparing me to the house.
The music industry sell whatever makes a profit.
I like to always introduce the guest with the mug. Hello everyone and welcome to the Inside Track with me, Luca Allam. I am delighted to be welcoming the Godfather of urban music in the UK.
If it's not a Rolex, she don't really care. Shocking. Yeah, we popping bottles over here. Lord God, me say you're ready. From your nose, say you're good gal and you don't need nothing. I ain't got to stand up with 100-odd man. Nope. Even though I can. Yeah. Got to be a one-man band. On the road, I'll rise my own hand.
Wiley Cat, Mr. Richard Cowie, MBE, welcome to the show.
What's happening? You all right?
Living the dream, mate. Living the dream.
Good.
How are things with you? How's Dubai treating you so far?
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. Like, first year was like, got to get yourself together with like your Emirates ID and all of that. I was like,
yeah.
And then going in second year, good. And third year almost now, so
it's
really
a bit
good.
Different, right? It's a bit different from the UK.
It is different, but for me, like, I love the sunshine.
Yeah.
And I love the beach, and I like the vibe that is kind of like the safety net if you've got a family.
Yeah, nice. So we had a little bit of a chat off screen, and I was asking, how would you like to be introduced? Right?
Yes.
So the Godfather of urban music, right,
Yes.
in the UK.
Yes.
So how proud are you to call yourself that?
People say it, and because obviously, like, the thing is, if you are like a great at something, or you are achieved at something, right? I don't believe that you can say it yourself. Like, I believe people will say it.
So when do people start calling you that? When did it start reaching critical mass?
I guess after time of me doing music, like, over a long period of time, but always trying to help others and trying to put people on, forgetting about myself, and then like when it comes to that last minute, I'm like, oh my God, what about myself? And I've got to quickly get myself on. I think it comes from the idea of me putting others before myself, musically, and, you know, like giving people paths to opportunity where they can go on and be themselves without me getting all up in their business and all the rest of it, I guess.
Like, Wiley, I'm really excited to talk to you today.
Yes, good.
I'm really excited. There's a lot to talk about.
Yes.
But first things first.
Yes.
In my show, I like to always introduce the guest with the mug that they have.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the mug.
Let's talk about the mug.
So what happened with the mug this morning?
Right, so the mug, this is really weird because I've actually got my own mugs with my face on, right?
Nice.
Right.
Just in case you forget.
Right, so Danielle let me know, like, bring the mug.
Okay.
And then I was waiting for my daughter, she was getting ready, and then I rang the taxi. I was thinking, I don't want to be late. I rushed and I actually forgot to put my shoes on. I still had my slippers on and definitely forgot the mug. But it would have been a great opportunity to bring my mug with my face on my merchandise. And
100%. So we're going to have an honest, open,
Yes.
and easy chat today. I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited. Thank you for being part of the show. Should I call you Godfather? Is that?
Wiley.
Let's call you Wiley.
Yeah, Wiley.
So Wiley, tell me a little bit, how did you get into the music industry in the first place?
I got into the music industry because I was doing music anyway, as a fan of music, as a hobby, as a son of a musician.
Okay.
And I never knew it was possible to actually get into the industry. But I guess I loved music that much and it loved me back. And I can remember my first early steps. I guess I was, obviously I used to watch Top of the Pops.
Who didn't?
Massive inspiration, whether like people like to admit it or
Who
not.
did you grow up watching? Who did you sort of idolize as a kid?
I liked Musical Youth. They were from Birmingham, and I used to listen to them. And I basically liked whatever was in the charts. But at the time, or when I got to teenager, I would have tried to not face that fact. But actually, whether it was like whatever the pop music was happening,
Yeah.
I was definitely into it. New Kids on the Block, and
I loved all that.
you know, all of that. I was definitely
Marky
into it. 100%. I was into it. So I actually appreciate that, because it was just like, I remember when an artist called Smiley Culture first went on there, and Tipper Irie, and I was like, oh my God. So I that inspired me massively.
Yeah.
But I guess like my way into the music industry would have been like, I was watching stuff like award shows, and it came like Mobo Awards, and it was like Glamour Kid and Shola Amar and these people, and they actually gave me hope to let me know like I could do it. So,
and did you ever sort of, because I had this when I was growing up.
Yes.
The US were dominating
100%.
charts. And did you ever think like, no, you know what? I want to put UK a little bit on the map. We want to sort of like, you know, say that we can actually do better music.
100%. I looked at it because I guess everyone looks at the US whole entertainment system as like the number one entertainment on the earth, whether it's like movies, film stuff, or music or whatever. So like I said, those people, Glamour Kid, Shola Amar, people like that, Phoebe One, different people, they gave me inspiration to, plus like radio, Choice FM and the radio stations and pirate radio stations, Roots FM, Deja Vu, all of it, Cool FM, just gave me inspiration. And I think those are the reasons I got the drive to actually go into music industry.
And did you have a good network of friends around you, similar interests? Did they help push you? Did they encourage you to get into it? Talk to me a little bit about your story as a kid growing up, realizing you had a little bit of talent for it, then what made you actually decide this is actually the career for me?
Okay, so DJ Slimzy was my friend from school, and he
Great
was like,
name, by the
yeah, he was like, he used to be called Slim Fast. He changed it to Slimzy, and he was proper like into hardcore, jungle, drum and bass, and he set up the station, pirate radio station, right? Okay. So
how old were you back then?
Like 13, 14, and you know what I mean? So him doing that gave me massive inspiration, because like you would be on the pirate radio and people would call up and they want their name to be shouted out on the pirate radio, and being on pirate made you feel like you was on legal, right? But so that built my confidence massively into becoming a like Sounds of the Rinse FM, phone line number, blah, blah, blah. Hello, can you big up blah, blah from blah, blah? Then, you know, so then the tapes come back of the shows and stuff. So that built my...
And every time you did it, you just got more and more confident. You enjoyed it more,
100%.
The sound of your own voice. And people saying, you know what, respect.
Yeah, because it's interacting across the airwaves, I guess. Wasn't TV yet, but airwaves. And then, so that was like the beginning bit. And then I guess... going to different studios. I was always like trying to make music, different youth clubs and stuff. And I guess going to different studios, making music, and meeting different people, Jazzy B and different people that I already saw there. Yeah. That, because doing music and being in the music industry is completely different. Like being in the music industry is like a football player being in the Premier League, I guess, if you're in the
Or you
industry.
sign your first professional contract.
There you go,
from
right.
like 17, you sign for a club, and then all of a sudden you're catapulted into another league.
So that's what that would be like. But you could just be doing music and you're not in the industry, and you're still good at music and you put music out, but it's not the same as being in the industry and doing business, right? I guess. So doing business is like the bit that I had to get into, and it's not hobby. It's a hobby, but you're not just doing it anymore as a hobby.
Is it a dirty business? Do you find like
I think all business is dirty. I think every business. I think the whole point of business is to like do business and make a profit.
Did you ever have to screw someone over to get to where you are?
I didn't, but I've been screwed over. But I'm not mad at it. I don't take it as like, oh, you were screwed over. I look at it as a learning curve, because obviously when you go into business, if you don't get screwed over, you're not going to learn much about business, I guess. Yeah.
Do you owe anyone anything?
No.
For getting where you are?
No.
It feels good saying that, right?
No. For getting where I got to, I always give props to like my dad, DJ Slimzy, the whole pirate radio era, genius. I give props to, again, Glamour Kid, Shola Amma. I give props to people who inspired me.
Yeah.
So I will always, my inspirations, I owe them.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you meant do I owe someone.
yeah. He's waiting outside. You've had a lot of albums. You've had a lot of success.
I've had a lot of music out there. Yeah, I guess.
How many songs have you recorded?
Loads.
Give me a number. Give me a number. Just approximately.
Thousands. When I die, they will obviously when I leave the earth, like they will, they'll go back, and they will have. You know, like when I guess, you know, like Tupac died and then they just were releasing music, like loads and loads. Yeah. Some stuff that you never heard, some stuff you never knew he recorded. Yeah. Same with Biggie. Yeah. So I when I leave the earth, there'll be like so much music. They'll be like, oh my God, is this how much he really did? You know
Nice. Do you feel proud of yourself for what you've achieved?
I do, but I also... like I said, I feel proud of myself, but I also appreciate the people who inspired me to get there. Like I always look back and just think, okay, without you, I wouldn't have got here. Without you, I wouldn't have got here. So I guess I'm more thankful to them than me. Just like, yes, I got here myself. You know.
Yeah. And you've got 4 kids.
Yeah.
Do you want them to get into the industry?
I want them to do what makes them happy, and I want them, whatever they go into, I want them to learn and educate themselves about it before they go into there. Because I feel like sometimes people go into stuff without knowing fully what's happening. And if you do that, you can learn on the job, but you can also educate yourself. So when you go in there, you just know on the job, I guess.
So why Wiley and why Wiley Cat? It came from Wiley Cat or something, right?
All the Thundercats and Wiley Coyote and the term.
Did you come up with it, or one of your
Wiley,
mates?
You're Wiley.
I was
called Wild Child. I was called Wild Child, and then there was another DJ. There was a girl DJ on Cool FM, and she was called Wild Child. I didn't know her, but because she was in a bigger pirate than me. Okay. I thought, oh my God, well, she's in a bigger pirate radio space than me, so I'm going to just change it to Wiley. And it stuck.
It sort of stuck.
Yeah.
So you've got an MBE.
I have.
That's crazy.
It is.
Talk to me about how, do they call you up? Do they send you a letter? Talk through the process of getting that.
You get an MBE, they won't call you up. They call up your team of people or your management or your label or whoever you're with who's more closer to them.
Yeah.
Or in some cases, I guess your team or your people will go to them if they feel like you've done years and years of helping others to achieve what they want to achieve, and you know, your services to whether it's youth work or whatever it is. I guess they contacted my team at the time, and they was like, right, we're going to collect an MBE. And I was like, oh shit, I've seen other people collect them, and I was like, okay. Went and got the MBE, and
wait. So when you say went and got the MBE,
they call you to come to the
supermarket and saying, I'm going to pick up some groceries.
They call you. They give you a day, and there's loads of different people going there for all different reasons.
So they give you a time slot as well.
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Buckingham Palace.
What was that like?
Yeah, do you know what? Inside Buckingham Palace,
you just look around my house comparing me to the house.
Yeah, it's the same as this. It's the same as this. No, inside Buckingham Palace is right. Everyone goes to their grandma's house, right?
Yeah.
Your grandma's house is a certain way.
Yeah. There's a certain smell as well.
Yeah, like your nan and granddad's house is a certain way. That was just like a mega-sized mansion version of everyone's nan and granddad's house, basically.
That's brilliant. You've been stabbed.
I have
multiple times.
What a nightmare! You know what? As well.
Okay.
Go on, tell me.
Give me context. What happened? Where were you? How many times? You know,
nightmare.
has this happened more than once?
Yeah, nightmare. But also now, when I look back at it, I can see why. At the time, you can't see why. You're young. Yeah. You're trying to uphold this image of you're who you are, they're who they are. No one wants to back down. Yeah. All the rest of it, and it's a sensitive topic now, not to me, I'm past it, right? But just for young people, boys, going through a crazy time within the UK, London, wherever, right? It's a crazy time. It spills out of wherever, I guess, into other places too, right? And it's a sensitive topic because not everyone lives. So I got stabbed multiple times, but some people got stabbed once and die, right? Sensitive topic. And I used to look at it, I guess, as, okay, this happened, you went to this club, you was arguing with this person before, you've gone to this club, they've seen you, 50 people have rushed you, you're stabbed. You drive yourself to the hospital, you know what's happened, what led to it, okay? I looked at it that way, right? And I guess I was like, okay, why did this happen, right? This happened because me and him was arguing and this one and then me and my friend caught this one and then another day and then we've gone to this rave, they've caught us. So it's not just, these situations are not just I woke up and got stabbed. I can see where my part to play in it and I can see the other people's part to play in it. So my next question
becomes, did you deserve it?
No, I didn't deserve it, but I guess two people not backing down and growing up from the days of let's go on the grass and fight, the reason why people would carry a knife, why it would be because you don't want to get beaten up. So someone who doesn't want to go on the grass and fight and get beaten up, they don't want the humiliation of getting beaten up, so they'll carry a knife.
Yeah.
You understand? And then, so understanding all of that and all the situations I got into and got stabbed, it made me think. And I said to myself, this is a knife, a small knife, my day. Today, they might have long knives. Prior to all of this, there was wars on a battlefield with a sword and a shield. So, you know, like people will say, oh, they carry a knife. Why they carry a knife? Why this? Why that? Oh, this and that and da-da-da-da-da. But prior to us, men, sword and shields and a horse was normal for men, sadly.
Yeah.
So, I, you know, when there's like, stop knife crime and stop this and stop that, I look and I think, well, why is it? Where has it come from? Yeah. It's come from there. Yeah. So we weren't even alive yet. So just as men and boys being alive, it's already embedded in...
But is that an excuse?
No, it's not an excuse.
My ancestors used to do it, so we should...
No, but I'm just saying, like, a men and an army, and then boys and knives.
Yeah. So you know what age did you start carrying a knife?
I weren't really a knife carrier, to be honest with you, but I remember the time, like, going into, like, 17, 18, 19, 20, boys would carry a knife. But prior to that, you know, in my uncle's day, there would be people who carry a knife and chase me and my uncle, chase my uncles and his friends around. So knife culture doesn't just exist because there's kids in London stabbing each other. It's existed way before, you know?
Primal, it's more primal.
Yeah, it's to do with men, power, greed, war, invasion, land, wherever you want to go. It comes from like way before hundreds of kids running around London stabbing each other. You know what I mean? They don't even know. They won't look. They won't realize it and think, oh, like, why do boys carry knives? Oh shit! Well, years and years ago, those men carried swords and shields. It trickles down behavior.
Okay, interesting question. Would you allow your kids to carry knives?
No, that's why we don't live in London or anywhere where they would. We don't live there. Not that they wouldn't. They'll carry it wherever they want to carry it. But like, I don't want my children to be in the same kind of growing up place as I was.
Same environment.
No way. Because it's just...
It was tough where you were growing up, huh?
Yeah, but not to necessarily it was tough. Like I said, in my day and age, it was still go on the grass and fight. As well as, like, it wasn't everyone's got guns and everyone's got knives. It wasn't really that, you know? But I for my children, I just couldn't, you know, I couldn't bear it. I had to get them out of there, to be fair.
Makes sense. Does the music industry make that crime element more prevalent, or?
Well, the music industry.
Well, when you were growing up and sort of getting into sort of, you know, the world of grime, which now is called, right? We'll talk about grime later. But urban music, did that all help sort of create or empower you to have to take this type of lifestyle?
No, but I will tell you one thing. Because again, music industry at that time wasn't...
Because if you're seen as a gangster, right, it's going to help your music career later on, potentially.
Well...
If you're seen as someone who's good projecting violence, I'm not saying you were.
Well,
let's say, would that then make you more popular?
Well, here's the thing. The music industry sell whatever makes a profit. If death is going to make profit, they will sell death. Yeah. If comedy is they will sell comedy. Remember, they are just going to make a profit, right? So all of what you're saying obviously comes from America. Like, it's more prevalent. What did you say? What's
prevalent.
Prevalent in America, right? And so if in America gangster rap is being sold, or you know, from the days of when it started and stuff, if that's going to make money and it looks cool to be like that and keeping it real, music business, record labels will sell it because they just want to get money, right? The whole world obviously looks at America, I guess, for entertainment and stuff, right? So if they're looking at that, could that rub off on people? Yes, it could. Unfortunately, it could. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my time, music, we wasn't trying to sell death.
It just came.
We just liked music, you know. I wasn't gonna run down the street and then stab someone and then go make a song about it. I wasn't gonna do that. But again, artists and music people, they speak on their experiences. Yeah. So if someone grew up in a circle where it was like that and they speak of it, I understand. Because you're speaking about your experiences and what you have been through and what you haven't been through. But that wouldn't have been my era. My era wasn't like that per se. Like, it wasn't like guns and knives within the music.
Got it. Let's talk about the difference between garage and grime.
Yes.
Is there a difference, and what is the difference?
100%. Garage is like before grime to start with, and garage is like most garage. There's all different elements of garage, let's just say, but a lot of garage would have been like 2-step or 4 to the floor, vocals, female or male, MCs as well, female or male on the tracks, different raving scene, you know, that it was before grime. So grime's existence came from garage, if you like, because it would have been loads of young people doing that type of stuff, but then the music that those young people was making might not have really got too accepted into that, because it's already set. The scene was set with who the...
But what is it? I'm still struggling to understand. What is grime?
Grime is...
I
didn't call it grime. The reason they called it grime is because...
They call you the creator of grime.
Yeah, but we didn't call it at the time. The reason where the word grime came from is these beats were being made similar tempo to garage, and they were dark and grimy. Yeah. Like the bass lines were grimy. So that's why the word grime comes from. Like grimy bass lines, dark beats, and you know what I mean?
And so that's only for the UK. Any other countries adopted that?
Yeah. Well, it's grime all around the world. There's grime. There's people who attach themselves to grime. Like, if you, it's not a bad thing. It's good. You will see on the internet. There's people like Brazilian grime, Australian grime. Like, it's all around the world. It's not.
Did it come from the UK though?
Yeah. But it's not like as big as like hip hop. Yeah. And to me, it is an element of hip hop, which no one really wants to admit, because it's beats, lyrics. Yeah. So before any of us did that, like even in 1946, like I saw a video of these guys. I forgot what it was called. They was old school, and they were rapping. No, but they were rapping, like melody as well. And if you listen to it, it will be the roots of like spitting bars. Like, even though it was like, I said, long come, but it was like beginning of, so it was like blues and soul and type of thing. But yeah, grime is, the reason the word grime comes from just the music was grimy, the beats and the bass.
Talk to me a little bit about what's going on in the world of social media and you.
Yeah.
You don't seem to be best of friends.
No, social media. Well, I've been deplatformed from social media, haven't I? So, and I've just come back on now. I've got accounts, but the thing about social media is it's a setup. It's the man who made Twitter said, right, we're going to make Twitter and people are going to tweet and they're going to tweet what's inside their minds. And then we're going to know what's going on inside everyone's mind. Like, it's just a big setup. The best one, which I'm not even on anymore, but is the most normal one, is like Facebook. I guess you can go on Facebook and find all your friends from school, family members, and all the rest of it. Twitter is just a big escalation of tweets. If you tweet and say, the sky's red today, someone will say, well, the sky's blue. If I look at it, someone will say, well, the sky's purple. It's just, it's a setup.
So why were you removed? What happened?
I was removed because I had gone on there and I had tweeted lots of stuff at, I guess, aiming at like some business people within the music industry that, again, I kind of caught on to the fact that they, like, if you grow up on the street and it's like crooked, well, then business is even more crooked. Music industry crooked. Yeah. So I guess, you know, like the way that the system was kind of coming for me in a crooked way led me to do all of that, I guess.
Okay. Do you need a safe word now? Or?
No, I don't need a safe word. It's because the truth is, if I realize something and I learn something by going through years and years of business, and then I'd stop and say, but hold on, this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. That's my realization. Yeah. I guess like no one can, no one can take away the fact that I realized something is not right around here.
So people didn't like what you were saying?
No.
On social? They took it down.
Yep. Deplatformed.
Was it on what platforms? All platforms?
That was on Twitter. No, that was on Twitter. Okay. Actually, mostly.
Now called X, of course.
Yeah, I'll just keep it Twitter. That's like, X doesn't even make sense. Obviously, space X, I get it, but it doesn't make sense. He should have just left it Twitter. But I guess he'd done it because of his problems with certain business people. Yeah. So, you know. So,
okay. What are you doing at the moment, Wiley?
I am making music still. I'm helping people. I've got a record label. I am... same thing I've always done, but I guess I'm just getting older, so I'm going into like a different area of business, I guess. And, you know, you can't do it forever, but what you can do is you can learn and use what you've learned to go into like another area of business where now you are your own boss instead of like working for someone, I guess. Yeah.
Right. One thing I love doing and I want to do on the show is have a bit of an improv section. Like this whole thing is improv anyway.
Yeah,
right?
yes. Yeah.
It's just been a free-flowing chat. But I have a part where it includes different topics that are completely random, but linked to who you are or the industry that you're in.
Yes.
They just so happen to be in a bag.
Okay.
And they so happen to be in a bunch of balls on them, right? Okay. So what I would love to do, open up the bag, pick out a ball, read it out, and we'll talk about it. I bet you didn't think you're going to be dipping into a bag of balls today, did you?
Oh, mate. Music industry, boom or bust?
Right. Is the music industry, was it better when you were growing up? Is it better off now? Where do you see the future of it going? Has it had its golden period?
It was better when I was growing up. The music industry is already set up. It's already infrastructure. It's already owned by Sony, Warner, Universal, blah, 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 blah. In genres like garage, grime, jungle, in a genre, you are your own music industry. This is what everyone doesn't know at the time, right? If there's a scene or a genre of people selling records and everyone's, but
there's a market for it. There's a big enough market for it.
Then you are your own music industry. Yeah. The problem comes when you're doing well within your scene or genre, and then someone from the music industry comes over, dangles carrots, money, and says, okay, I see that you're doing well over there. You made blah, blah, blah that year. Okay, well, if I give you this money up front, you come over here. That's the mistake. If you're in a scene or you're in a genre and you're already doing your stuff, making money, you're not supposed to go into the music industry because you're already in your own one.
Yeah.
So music industry, boom or bust, like, for me, it was better when we were in control.
Yeah. So if you've got someone growing up now,
yes,
they're 17, 18, they want to get industry, what's your advice to them?
If someone's growing up now and they're in a genre of people that's already doing music and selling records or selling or streaming or doing whatever you're doing, I guess... Should I put this
put it on the table.
I guess if you're already doing it, keep doing it. Don't let someone buy you out, because someone buying you out is only buying you out because they can see you doing it.
Yeah.
But because they might take you 6 months to a year to earn that money, and they're just giving it to you in one check. Yeah. But they're giving it to you in one check because they're part of a bigger situation where they can take you from there and sell you within their infrastructure and their scene. And then they're going to make 20, 30 times, maybe, like not always, but maybe more than what they've given you. Yeah. So don't be scared to put in the work. You know, a lot of people start by putting in the work, and then someone can talk you out of, like the McDonald's brothers. Started McDonald's, all of a sudden a man comes along, lawyer, talk them out of it, all of a sudden swindle them. Okay, but they're not selling. Okay, well, you know what? What you need to do is buy the land on which they are putting these McDonald's. And then, do you understand? So there's always someone trying to be clever. Yeah. Don't fall for that person or those people trying to be clever.
Great advice.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Right, let's go for another ball.
Yeah.
Do you want to open up? Okay. Some are tough, some are easy.
Media censorship, help or hindrance? Help for me.
Okay, so is it, so...
Help for me.
There's a lot of media now that's been heavily censored. You don't know what's real, you don't know what's not real.
Yeah.
Has it helped people?
Oh, no. Okay, sorry, wrong word. Help or hindrance? So I thought you meant me being censored.
No.
Me being censored helped me because it made me actually go and learn more about the field in which I was in.
Okay.
But is censorship wrong or right? Of course it's wrong. But the people censoring you, they own a lot of these platforms. So it's just like you set up a platform tomorrow, and then you're the boss of the platform. And then you have pissed me off one day. Yeah. And then I come on there, you pissed me off. You can shut me off the platform.
Do you think people have a free voice still?
No, there's no such thing as that. There's no such thing as freedom of speech. Especially when you're a public figure. When you're a public figure, you're not allowed to speak. If you speak when you're a public figure, if your company is owned by those who you're speaking on, if they're doing the wrong, then they'll just sack you anyway.
I mean, you tried to speak, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And then
shut me off. But do I understand? Well, obviously, if by the time I looked into who owns this, who owns that, who owns this, who owns that, I realized that the business people that I was speaking on, some of them are from that background.
Do you want to talk about what you actually said?
No, I don't need to, because what I'll be doing is dragging it up. Okay. But people in the world know my stance. Yeah.
So for you, you want that chapter of your life to be almost closed?
No, it's not closed. It's never closes. It's always going to be open, because that's why that's why you're asking me now, and it's obviously happened years ago. It's never going to close. Yeah. And me as being who I am and from the family background that I'm from, I was supposed to realize. I was supposed to work out how the world runs, how certain business runs, who is running the business, and to learn not to stereotype, because I can say some business people I worked with are crooked. That's correct. I can't say all business people I worked with are crooked. You can't say that, because they're not all crooked. In everyone's culture and background and walk of life, there are good people and there are bad people.
The thing is that the line celebrities now have to walk is extremely narrow. You can't...
100%.
You can very rarely say what you really
you're not allowed. You're not allowed. You have to be not a public figure, right? But if you're a public figure, you can't. And the reason for that is you're most likely owned by the people you're about to speak out on. Yeah. So, for instance, like, I saw... one time I saw a person and they posted a documentary a basketball player. He posted a documentary, and the documentary is all about like ancient Egypt and what was going on and this and this and this and this. And then the NBA wanted to obviously get rid of him.
Yeah.
And because they had been told what content was in the documentary. So he posted the documentary.
Yeah.
They wanted to get rid of him because of the contents in the documentary. So there's something about the contents in the documentary that they just didn't want him to, or anyone else to realize.
Yeah.
I get it. So they'll be a bit peed off. But today, if you look in the world and everything that's going on, you will see exactly whatever you saw me talking about, or whatever you saw Kanye West talking about, whatever you saw Kyrie Irving, whatever you've heard Malcolm X talk about. And I'm not and everyone, a lot of people want to be Malcolm X. None of us are Malcolm X, right? But everything that we were saying or talking about is going on today. Yeah. So you can see it. So even if someone at the time was like, oh, shut up, Wiley, you're crazy, you're mad, you're a liar, you're this, you're that. Now today, they can see elements of what I was trying to say. You should never say stuff in anger, because the anger will shield the fact that you had a few points, but you was angry. Oh, he's angry.
It got masked.
Yeah.
It got masked over because of the time.
He's angry.
Yeah.
So then, oh yeah, he's angry. Yeah, he's angry. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you should never say stuff in anger. You should say it, just speak it. Like I know some proper people from who I grew up with, and instead of going on Twitter like da-da-da and da-da-da and da-da-da, they just would have come on and said, something fishy about this music industry. They just would have said that.
Yeah.
And then no one would have said anything because they would have read it and it would have said, oh yeah, someone said there's something fishy about this music industry. But it's not enough for the clickbait. It's not enough to make someone say, oh my God, he said something about this industry is fishy, you know? Yeah. So
I'm with you.
One of them.
Time for another ball, mate.
Yeah. Okay. Proudest moment of your life, career. Do you know what? The proudest moment of my life and career is something I realized by being in Dubai, which doesn't make sense. Some people will just be like, but what about when you was at the blah, blah? The proudest moment is when I was here and I was walking down the marina and like people was online and everyone was talking about music and stuff. And I've got a brother, he does music and stuff. And I was walking and I had a thought. And it would have had to come to me now because you can't see what you're doing whilst you're doing it, I guess, right? So I wouldn't have been able to see in 2003 what we was doing and where it was going to get to, right? But I had a thought, and the thought was, why do people actually call you the Godfather? Back to what you were saying earlier. And then I went through everything I'd done, everyone I'd helped, people I helped for nothing, people I helped without taking a cut, people who, you know, take them to the water, they'll drink. If they don't drink, then they won't drink. I realized everything that I had done, all my achievements, all my, just everything music. Yeah. And it came to me, why they call me it, like what? Because there's other people who done Godfather stuff. Like I could be a Godfather to someone else. DJ Slimzy could be a Godfather to me. Someone else could be, right? So there's other people. But if I wasn't here, sunshine, beach, blah, blah, da, da, and felt so at ease, because in London, I'm not at ease. I'm like, I've put myself under pressure in London. So I work really well under pressure. But for the first time in my life, going back on everything I'd done and not feeling under pressure, I accepted everything I had done for the reason that they would call you the Godfather. It was a realization moment of me thinking, oh my God, like I actually have done so much musically that's why they call you the Godfather. But no one's ever going to ring you up and say, you've done so much musically. They're not,
especially if you're in the middle of it.
Yes.
Right? So now you're in Dubai, you've left the UK, you can reflect a little bit more. It's much easier if you look back and you know what, I've had actually a pretty decent career.
Exactly. Reflection moment.
Yeah, reflection moment.
That was the best feeling, because otherwise you just, you know, like you're not allowed to big yourself up, basically. No. So
especially not on social.
Right. So that moment came to me here, just walking down and trying to understand why they call you the Godfather, and that was like the best feeling ever, because you won't have those feelings again. You wouldn't have had it in London, because that's where you're under pressure. You wouldn't have had it anywhere else, but I had it here. Yeah.
And if you have it once, it's amazing. If you have it 20 times, all of a sudden you start becoming actually a bit of a egocentric.
Right. So for the first time, I had that feeling of, you know, in actual fact, you are Wiley. Like, don't downplay it to keep yourself,
keep the humility, but also at the same time
accept the fact of who you are.
Great insight.
I think that's what it was.
Let's go for another ball. Do you like them?
Yeah, good idea. This is good idea.
Yeah, I like that. We'll do 2 more, I think.
Okay. Describe grime to a 5-year-old. There's a person, right? And they do music videos, like little videos, and they teaching kids like numbers, maths, English via like grime.
Really?
Yeah. I'm going to find out who it is. It's a person, they do it perfectly. They do it perfect. I swear. They do it so perfectly. I just forgot.
I was trying to explain to my wife the difference between UK garage and grime. I couldn't. And that's why I was generally asking. So I thought, how do I simplify it further? I thought, right, speaking to a kid, how do you explain it to a kid?
So grime to a 5-year-old. Grime is a genre of music which stemmed from garage, and it has dark bass lines, and it has similar beats, but I guess it had a new era of young people spitting bars on it that hadn't emerged before. So there was like a lot of like spitting in English, number one. Because a lot of people, not a lot, but some people in England before those times, they were kind of English, but spitting like an American accent. So it definitely kind of birthed all out English accent. London, Manchester, Birmingham, wherever you're from, you're spitting bars in your accent over these beats and bass, which I don't think was fully there.
So to a 5-year-old, you're saying it's dark, it's bass, it's British.
It's British for sure.
And it's
dark beats, dark bass. It's
Is it angry music? Would you describe it as?
Well, here's the thing. When I was younger, it was energy. I guess it was just like young people's energy. Now I'm older. I'm not trying to run on a stage and be like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that, right? But yes, there's elements of having to have energy within it, I guess.
Nice. Love it. Right, let's do another one.
Yeah.
If you start running out of space, we can always move the cups.
Scariest experience to date. The scariest experience I've had was me and my friend, DJ Target. We was years and years ago. We was in Bow, was in Roman Road, and we was going. He had his car. We was driving to Limehouse. And at the time, I was like in the streets. It was mad. It was up and down. This one don't like you. We don't like that one. Running each other, like chasing each other down. It was one of these times. And I remember I was selling weed at the time. And I went to sell some weed to someone. And when I got there, they was like moaning like, right, go on, touch it up a bit, innit? Touch it up a bit. It was one of them ones. And I was like, okay, cool, touch it up a bit. Then he tried to do that one. Yeah, like, touch it up.
What does that mean?
Like, put a little bit more in.
Okay.
Touch it up a bit, yeah. Put a little bit more in, tried to do it again. I was like, no, that's it. Like, where's the money? Then they gave me the money. But the mood was off. The mood was off, like, rah, these people are trying it, kind of thing. And then, so I left. This was prior to me and him driving, right? And then they rung again. And this time round, I went there, but I felt like they was trying it. So I had a car jack with me, so I went round there. Then one of them tried it. I pulled out the car jack.
Didn't have a knife.
Chased him.
So
no, car jack. This is before knife. See, because in this time, a knife, it weren't necessarily in my culture. It wasn't there yet. Like, it was more to do with like, it just weren't in my culture. It might have been like more in the Teddy Boys culture. You heard of them, the Teddy Boys? Skinhead, Dr. Martin boots, and more in their culture. It weren't in my culture yet. And yeah, so carjack, went round there. Someone's trying it, chased them down, carjack. Obviously, they got away. I ran for a bit, and then when they had gone, I was like, right, good, you've run away, right? Then the nighttime comes, so me and my guys driving, and because all that's happened in the day, all over just petty weed, right? Because that happened in the day, whoever was part of that circle, in their mind, they decided, I'm going to go after this guy, right? So the nighttime come, and we were somewhere in Bow again, then we started to drive, right? But as we started to drive, I looked in the mirror, just whatever, and I could see a moped, but didn't think nothing of it, right? So at the time, just, moped. And driving, look, still moped. The person on the moped had like a, you know, the postman jackets, like a big orange jacket with reflectors. He had a jacket on. And I was thinking, right, this bike's been following for ages. So, because I'm already paranoid from, okay, this happened in the day, quite petty, but because I'm doing what I'm doing and they didn't like how it went in the day, nighttime, they're going to try and come for me, right? Yep. And that was, what happened in the house was one part just before what I'm going to tell you now, but a string of stuff led to that, which I'm not going to go down. It just kept going on and on and on. That day was that day, nighttime now, yeah? Driving. Then, all of a sudden, we got to, like, Blackwall Tunnel approach. And the lights went red. So we had to stop. And then we're sitting in the car. And then the bike was getting closer, the ped was getting closer and closer, I remember. Closer and closer and closer and closer. And then the person went in there like that. Like, obviously to pull out a gun and shoot. And then I was like, drive, panic. Because the person who the people I was having drama with, I knew who their dangerous person was, right? And it's not to do with I was scared or not scared. I just knew that person they will do what they say they're going to do. And I didn't think it was him. But as I looked, obviously he had his helmet, but I could see hair. Yeah. And I just saw who it was, basically. Panic, bibbing, open the door, but where am I going? As I open the door, because where are you going to run to if he's going to do that? But as I open the door, he backed off on his bike, right? Okay. But he was pulling the thing out to shoot, basically. And then the lights went green, jumped back in, drove off, sped off. And then, like, sped off quite fast, got away, but as I looked, I could still see him back there. But he's on a 50cc bike. Okay. And we're in a car. Yeah. So obviously we got away. But obviously that day there, he was coming to shoot.
How did you sleep that night?
Oh man, I don't know if I did. But he was obviously coming to shoot, obviously that time. And yeah.
How old were you back then?
Oh, 19. Still a kid. Yeah, but like, obviously some people have been shot. You get me? But that was my first time of, who is it? Oh, is it my man? Oh my God. He does do that. Yeah. Oh, he's going to do it. Drive. He's going to, like, that's crazy. Panic. Like the worst panic ever, because I know that he would do it. Not everyone would do it. Some people will pull it out and shoot in the sky, but this person.
Yeah, he had a reputation.
Yeah, he was going to do it. Like, even if he hadn't shot anyone before or whatever.
Wally, that's mental.
Yeah, he definitely was going to do it. But we got away. I'm so glad we got away, because otherwise it would have been shooting at Blackwall Tunnel approach on my side as well. I was right there. Obviously, nightmare. So that's the closest. Obviously stabbed, but stab's not gun. Stabbed is like stabbed, bleeding. Okay, cool.
You make it sound like it's trivial.
Stitch me up, whatever. yeah, but like
Wiley, that's not normal.
Is very.
It's not trivial to be stabbed multiple times.
No, but stabbed is kind of like, because when you're getting stabbed, you can't even feel it. It just feels like pinches.
Yeah,
it just feels like pinches. Then when you get bleeding, you feel wet. Then you get to the hospital, and you're bleeding. So stabbing is kind of depending, like, because I know some situations are like crazy. But you see when someone who you know will shoot you pulls up at the side of your car.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Let's do one more. Here we go. He's enjoying it. That's why I know.
Subject of crime or Godfather of Grime? Yeah. Godfather of Grime.
So are you the subject of crime? I.e., do you attract crime, your past? Have you given crimes out? We've talked a little bit about that. Or are you the Godfather of Grime? So
I'm the Godfather of Grime. Yeah. I you know what it is? Depending on, all right, so growing up, this is really mad as well. Growing up in England, right, and going to school with all different people and understanding just life, right? Growing up, the Great Train Robbery. Growing up on a council estate, the Great Train Robbers are heroes.
Yeah.
Naturally, the Great Train Robbers are heroes. In Mexico, you grow up in Mexico, to some people, Pablo Escobar is a hero. To some people, he's not. They hate him because of whatever, you know what I'm trying to say? So, as a boy growing up in a poorer area than the richest area, stupid things like getting arrested are good. Doesn't make sense, does it? Because getting arrested and then you come back to your estate. Yeah, man, I got arrested. Yeah, man, got shift.
Is it a respect thing?
People, it's not necessarily just respect, but it's like, that's one element of it. But it's like, oh my God, you got arrested. What happened? The police. Yeah. It's that, right?
So it's us against them.
Right, but the thing is...
But it's the oppressor against the oppressed.
Right, but the thing is, if I had a conversation now with all young people growing up, the first thing I would say to them is stay away from the police. Because you don't want... Getting arrested is not cool. Going to prison is not cool. Like, coming from a poorer background, our best bet is to stay away from the police. Yeah. You don't want a criminal record. You get what I'm saying? You don't want to... There's loads of things, because it's a setup. It's not a coincidence that if there's a poor area and then there's people with nothing, that they might not commit crime. It's a setup. You're there, they're already going to drive around and look to see you make your move wrong, right? Yeah. So it's a setup. And again, I watch loads of documentaries which explain the beginning and the starting of the police force and who they are and why they started it and all the rest of it. So it's kind of like a setup. So don't fall for it. That's what I'd say now. But growing up, it's like we couldn't wait to get arrested. Yeah. Why do we want to get arrested? That's
very, very weird.
It's actually exactly my point. So, and also, look, in England, people will celebrate some of the criminals that they know of, or like, if I don't even think of it that way, but they would. So just say one person said the Krays were criminals. Well, it's people I went to school with, and they celebrate the Krays. So we celebrate our gangsters, if you like. Yeah. Like, not just the Krays, that would be my friends' ones, right? But just whoever. It's like we celebrate gangsterism because some of us know that, okay, we're from this background.
Which, ironically, Godfather, you know, if you think about the movie, the OG of, you know.
And that's another part of it, the mafia and all the films. And
man, you're the Godfather through and through.
You know what I'm saying? So it's one of them ones, I guess. It's like...
Amazing.
Yeah, you're from this side, that's the police. You know, don't grass to the police. Like, it's so many different elements of... So yeah, I am the Godfather of Grime, but now talking back to young people, I would just be like, listen, don't get arrested. Stay away from the police. Never be bored. Yeah. Because when you're bored, you do stupid stuff, right? Yeah. don't be bored. Like always follow your passion, follow your intuition. Like try to do stuff, no matter what level of poverty we're at, because there's people who come from like this level of poverty and then all of a sudden they might be in the Premier League, or, you know, like Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury. Yeah. Francis Ngannou's come from like a different level of poverty. Tyson Fury might come from like traveller background, right? But then they're both in Riyadh getting money. So work your way out. And don't forget your people and always go back but just try to, and encourage others to work your way out. Like don't get stuck in that. Yeah, I got shift on Friday. What did you get shift for? Oh, I had 5 bags of weed on me. But it's going to be nothing. I'm going to court and I'm going to get a £500 fine. It's just a waste of time. It's a waste. It goes on your record. If your record has got one conviction on it and you don't know lawyers and you don't know certain people, you might want to travel to America. Travel to America, do your ESTA. You've got to put your police record on there. They're going to turn you away because your police record. So it's just a waste of time, I guess.
Wiley, this hasn't been a waste of time.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Good.
Really enjoyed having you, mate.
Thank you, bro.
Best of luck, and we'll stay in touch.
Thank you.